The accounts and finance department documents have been checked right now. This is what is being looked at. This is sources to India Today. Government sources are telling us. Phones, laptops of the finance department employees have been seized is what we've been given to understand. So any kind of electronic proof is under the radar. Tax evasion allegations are being investigated by the income tax department. That's also something that is being looked at. Global transfer pricing is being probed. Now this was in news for days now about the kind of transfer pricing that BBC has had with companies outside of India. Global tax irregularities under scanner. This is what government sources are telling us. Meanwhile, as expected, politics has raged over the income tax survey at the BBC offices in Delhi and Mumbai. The opposition is all guns blazing at the centre. They say the government is trying to muzzle free speech, alleging that the British broadcaster is being hounded for its documentary on Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The centre, meanwhile, has hit back, saying that no one, absolutely no one, is above the law. The Congress claiming the centre called the search and seizure by the IT department an undeclared emergency. Condemning the surveys, the opposition took political pot shots at the BJP, calling it brazenly hounding those who speak the truth. Responding to the attacks, Union Minister Anurag Thakur said no one is above the law and that the IT department would share details about the survey soon.
इनकम टैक्स विभाग समय समय पर जहां पर अनियमितताएं पाई जाती हैं वहां पर सर्वेस करता है और जब ये सर्वे का काम पूरा होता है तब वो अपना एक प्रेस नोट या प्रेस ब्रीफिंग करके जानकारी देते हैं। तो मुझे लगता है जब ये इनकम टैक्स विभाग का सर्वे पूरा होगा वो जानकारी पूरी आपको डिटेल में दे देंगे और कोई भी देश में न्याय से ऊपर तो या हमारी जो कानून व्यवस्था है उससे ऊपर तो कोई नहीं हो सकता।
मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रहा कि कांग्रेस इसे छापा पड़ी बीबीसी पर तकलीफ हो रही है कांग्रेस पे। वही कांग्रेस है जो मेरे बिहार में कहावत है कि चलनी दूसरे सूप को, जिसमें सहस्त्र छेद। ये इमरजेंसी लगा करके पूरे लोकतंत्र को शर्मसार करने का काम किया। ये किसका राज था? बीबीसी पर प्रबंध किसने लगाया था? ये किसका राज था?
अब बीबीसी पे हमला किया है। बीबीसी की क्रेडिबिलिटी एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी है, देश में दुनिया के अंदर एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी है। ये आज भी गांव के लोग जो है बीबीसी सुनते हैं और ये कहते हैं हाँ बीबीसी में न्यूज आ गई। मैं 40 साल से देख रहा हूँ बीबीसी में रेडियो न्यूज हो चाहे टीवी में आने लग गई, तो आज भी लोगों में उसकी क्रेडिबिलिटी है। कारण बताना चाहिए देशवासियों को, भाई आपने बीबीसी की जैसी संस्था को भी आपने टारगेट क्यों बनाया है?
विश्व में पहली बार बीबीसी के 100 साल के इतिहास में उन पर इस प्रकार की कोई छापामारी और रेड हुई है। और उनका कसूर क्या था? उन्होंने एक गुजरात के दंगों की डॉक्यूमेंट्री बनाई थी जिसमें कि सभी का पक्ष रखा था।
Amit continues to be with us outside the BBC office in Delhi City. Amit, some of the employees were there even overnight at the BBC office, those from the finance department and those from the admin. Tell us what really has happened throughout the course of the day yesterday.
Well, Sneha, you know, yesterday when the action began around 11:56 a.m., around 12 p.m. yesterday, the movement of the BBC employees, be it the admin department employees or the accounts department employees or the editorial staff which were present at the BBC's office in the Delhi bureau, they were not allowed to step out of the office. In fact, what we are given to understand that nearly 100 employees stay in the morning shift and the majority of them are editorial employees, editorial staff of the BBC. They were not allowed to move anywhere outside the office. All the communication devices which they have, they were very strictly told by the IT officials that they cannot have access to these communication devices. Initially, there was an understanding amongst the BBC editors, India editors, that you know, these IT surveys which are being carried out at their premises in the national capital would end by the sunset, because apparently the document that was shared with them and the legal team of the BBC, it read that the IT officials can carry on the IT surveys for 3 days, which is, which was beginning from yesterday. So the BBC's India top officials had an understanding that this survey could end by the sunset, and after that, if at all the IT officials need to carry it out, the survey, they would resume it today in the morning. But that did not happen. The IT officials decided to go ahead with a marathon survey and going through the electronic devices of the BBC, which are present on the 5th and 7th floor of this particular building complex, which is right behind me. That kept on happening. After that, later in the evening, there was a discussion, a confrontation of sort, and after which an understanding was made between the BBC employees and the IT officials, which we are learning from our sources, is that the employees whose computers were searched clearly, they were allowed to leave the office. We do not have any information whether the new, any employee has been allowed inside the office this morning or not.
All right. Amit, I'm going to thank you for the moment for getting us up to speed with that Amit Bhardwaj with that detailed report.